Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today I have some FV215B games. As you might be aware, this tank right now is part of some sort of event where if you get 4 ace tankers on it, you receive a legendary camo. So I took up the challenge and here are some of the games that I had while grinding for it. Now this FV is a very nice tank, one of my favorite heavies. And it's not your typical heavy tank. You do have a big tank, you have bad mobility, but you have very good traverse on both turret and the tracks, and a very good gun. Now this gun is, well, very accurate, it's got great DPM, it even has hash, but the defining quality of this tank is the turret placement at the back together with the bad side armor, because as you can see against this T-57 side scraping doesn't really work. You will get better results than if you just poke up out with the front, and you also show less of modules because in the front you have the tracks, obviously you have the driver and also the fuel tank, whereas in the back you don't really take much damage regarding modules, and it's also a harder shot for the enemy, but you can't reliably side scrape. Is just if you really have to poke, then you're better off side scraping than not, but you generally don't want to poke unless you're hull down, because the turret on this tank is very nice. TDs with gold rounds will probably go through, or maybe even heavies if they use calibrated shells and fire heat. But other than that, there's only a very small weak point in the hatch at the top. The hatch is very big, as you can see, but the weak spot is only at the base. It's very small. You can pen it with AP, but it's very hard to hit. Now, so far in this game we have pushed the heavy side because we had the numbers advantage, and now I want to go up against these tier 9s. Now this 75 goes after the bad shot, which leaves me alone against 2, and here we use the special consumable, the improved engine boost. And look just how quick this tank becomes with that consumable, it's crazy. And also you see that I shoot the M103 and completely ignore the tortoise, because the M103 can catch up to me. He has a turret, he is reasonably fast for a heavy tank, whereas the tortoise would never be able to catch up to me. So we finish off the... well, T-57 comes and steals the kill basically, because he also had a full clip, and now he's gone on a reload and he cannot shoot the FV because he wanted that kill so badly. And that was a lucky bounce, and here we're going to see how this tank looks in a hull down situation. As you can see on the enemy FV, the armor is pretty good, and there's the weak spot I was talking about, the base of that hatch or viewport. You can hit it, but it's a tough shot, and I do hit it there. Luckily the FV wasn't aggressive enough to kill me, but even if he had, my team would have been able to win. So that's the first ace in the series, and we'll follow up with some more. So off we go with the second game, this time on Faust, and we will go ahead and take the heavy spot here. And at this point in time I already have 3 aces, so I only need one more to complete the grind for the camo. And as I said in the first game, this tank is huge. Look how easily I'm able to shoot over this piece of cover here. The tank may not look that big because, you know, it's long and the hole is fairly flat, but it's massive. So here I see that we have both mediums on the medium flank and they don't have anyone. So I move up slightly because I want to be able to put fire in case they push. If they push down for the Foch, if they push behind him, I want to be able to provide fire support because, well, this gun is very good and the armor only good in hull down, so I don't want to be the spear tip, I don't want to be the breakthrough tank in this context here. I want to be the annoying guy who you can't shoot at the back. Well, not at the back, but second line in this case, first line if my allies hadn't pushed while at a numbers disadvantage. And this is a theme we will see recurring throughout this game, because after our Foch pushed aggressively while having less support than there were tanks in front, now our mediums are pushing in the back, and there are 2 tanks, 2 mediums versus 2 tank destroyers, and also the 50B turns around, so they will die. The upside is that I have a bit more freedom taking out these heavies at the front. And now for the third part of the same team, the VK decides to randomly push in front of our guns while his team is back. So he gets punished for it, he takes a lot of damage. And now, as I finish the FV, I notice that the enemies have gone through to the middle of the map, which means this VK has no support other than the IS-8. We can finish him off and go for the IS-8 next. I know I have the faster reload, so we can finish him off with an AP shell. Okay, well that was a very unlucky low roll, at least the 268 didn't shoot me, so we can finish him off or not. Well, that was a bummer. So we can finish him off now finally with a shot in the turret. Accurate gun. And that leaves us in a bit of a pickle here as the 268 comes behind. I can barely find cover behind the Foch. Put one shot into him, and again, to illustrate how big this tank is, I'm able to shoot over the carcass of the Foch into the 268, and for a second there that was a 1v3 situation. And now I roll for 496. That is about 2.5%. That's 1 in 40 chance to get the kill. So I was definitely very lucky there. Now, I would have been, I'd say, quite likely to win in a 1 versus 2 as well, because I have some armor and they were both one shots, or would have been one shots. But at 300 HP the FV can load hash and shoot anywhere on me for the kill. As long as he doesn't hit the barrel of the gun, it's definitely a kill. But I go all the way around so he doesn't expect me, and that is the kill. That's 6 kills and the 1v3 for what is the 4th ace, and the final one that I needed for the camo. So this is it, the Octopus X camo for the FV215B. After getting it, of course, I had to take it out for a game. Looks quite menacing. Very, very similar to the normal Octopus camo, but with different colors. You have the teal, you have the grays, instead of red and black like the original. And in this game we're also going to see how good this gun is when it actually works. Look at that shot. It won't always work, there is RNG in the game, sometimes even the best gun will miss every shot, but not in this game. This game, this gun will work just as intended. Look at that, snapshot on the move, HE into the Progetto, not a problem. And also in this game, I want to highlight how important this position here is, because if I hadn't been here to stop the C5 from pushing, well, together with the TVP, and he was able to push up into the balcony, he would have crossfired our mediums who have no cover. You cannot cover from both the enemy mediums and the the heavies pushing up in the balcony. So if you want to play the C part of Port Bay, you generally have to have tanks both fighting for the corner and both fighting for this position in the center here, because otherwise there's a big crossfire and the other side just dies. So here they've pushed into us. They were, well, fewer tanks than we were, so we just killed them. And now it's just the cleanup, the Sheridan wherever he may be, and the 100 and WT, who I have no idea what they were doing. That was a bad shot, but that was on me. Should have actually aimed it on the WT instead of in the air. And I'm still trying to be careful here because, you know, they have high alpha guns, and the Sheridan also has a high alpha gun, so it doesn't take much to die here. But you know, it's not really necessary to be that careful. Although they got to a 3v3 here, not gonna help them at all win the game. But no, those guys weren't as careful as I was died. So the game isn't over until it says victory on the screen. Look at this, HE into the lower plate, and that's satisfying. Killing these Sheridans, these pesky little mosquitoes with the 15cm gun that has the same or better accuracy on the move compared to the FV215B. I believe it's the same. No, yeah, 60 km/h, 15cm dispersion on the move of a nice medium. No, nothing wrong with that. But back to the 215B, that was another race. Although the game was very short, we still managed to pick up 6000 damage. And the camo, if you want to do the grind, I have no idea how long this thing will last, this offer, this event. And the threshold for getting an ace tanker has also risen up higher since I got this. When I did it, it was like 1520 base experience, about that. Now I've heard that it's higher. I don't know the exact number, but it's a nice challenge, it's a nice tank, so if you think you can do it, I encourage you to try to. So that's it for today. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.